What's up, y'all? It's your boy Niner Faithful. How's everybody doing? I know everyone is having a legendary week. Of course, we got to review that thrilling, heart stopping Niner overtime clutch win to get to 7-6. But of course, before we do that, we got to remind everybody to get your officially licensed Niner gear by using our affiliate link. Not only do you save 10%, but it really does help out the show. The link will be available in this video or podcast, or you see it scrolling across your screen. Go to SeatGiant.com. Use the promo code Niner Faithful Radio to save on all theater, concert, and sporting event tickets, as well as help out the show. You can go to NinerFaithfulRadio.com/subscribe to see everywhere you can find the show. And of course, follow us on social media on Instagram, Facebook, and Tumblr at Niner Faithful Radio, and on Twitter at Niner Faithful R. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, let's get the show cracking.
Montana steps up, throws.
All right, y'all, we're back. I was going to try to get the coupon for the end of the show on right now, but looks like I'm not going to be able to do it. I'll have to do it on the Twitch commercial that we take. But whew, that was one hell of a thrilling game. Of course, for those, I shouldn't even say for those who don't know, because if you're watching this show, you know, Niners won 26-23 in overtime. Robbie Gould had a chance to win it, but missed the field goal. That's something that we're going to get into a little bit later. Hold on, I just got to share my video to my personal Facebook. It's already on NFR's Facebook. All right, there we go. So I have to say 27-41 for 296, 7.2 yards average and 2 touchdowns, was stacked 5 times for Jimmy Garoppolo. I don't think that tells the full story of his game. We got a comment. Hey, brother, nice to see you. Long time. Let's go, Niners. Of course, let's go, Niners. Of course, Victor, good to see you too, brother. I did the pregame show on Sunday, but we didn't do I didn't do the review show, and we didn't do a preview show this week. Your boys got an assignment. I went ahead and I was studying for my driving permit, which I went ahead and got today. So your boy is a permitted California driver. I actually drove home for Bubby's work today. So for my girlfriend, Kanice's work. But I think that what you saw, I was pretty hard on Jimmy during the halftime show and saying that also your boy made some fried chicken. Doesn't that look delicious? I was pretty hard on Jimmy during the halftime show, but I said that I wouldn't switch to Trey, that game, and I think that I always miss you. Hope you get your license. Yeah, that's the plan. Miss you too, brother, but that's the plan. Here pretty quick. Hopefully, we'll see how everything goes. But I think that, he showed, I think we saw the reason why Jimmy's our quarterback, because he didn't have a great game. He didn't. At least not a great first half. He was missing people, and even some of those balls that were caught were not accurate. But there were a few balls that Jimmy laid there on the spot. I believe one was dropped. I want to say by Debo. Maybe it was Kittle. But the ridiculous, man, armbar. Can you say armbar? And he still almost caught it. We'll get to Kittle corn here in a second, but it was. I think I want to say this with caution. I'm not comparing him to the player that I'm about to say, but it reminded me of what I researched and have seen through highlights or whatever of Joe, where Joe didn't necessarily always have the greatest game, but when you needed him the most, he came through. Now we obviously know Kittle corn essentially is what saved this game for the Niners, and when we talk about him in a little bit, there are going to be some questions we need to ask ourselves. Not bad questions, just something that honestly is one of my biggest fears as a faithful, and I hope it doesn't become true. But I think that it's the maturity, the being in the offense, and the been there, done that of Jimmy that really essentially allowed him to keep the Niners in the game. We didn't run the ball that great. Let me see our final rushing totals. Let me see. Rushing. Okay. Well, we rushed for 100 yards, only on 23 carries. Jeff Wilson had 26. Debo had 37. Brandon Ayuk had 4. And Jimmy had 3. And Debo's long, it was 27. So he only had 10 yards on 7 other carries. I'm curious to see. I couldn't find them, but if anybody can find the snap counts to let me know. I'm curious to see the percentage of snaps that Debo played, because I didn't really feel that he was out there as much as he normally is. Now, maybe that's because he wasn't getting the ball, and so it made it hard to tell that he was out there. But I don't remember seeing Debo on every play, or even 90-80% of the plays. But like I said, I could be wrong. But big shout outs to Jimmy. Yes, I did come on air and say that I was ready for the Trey Lance, the Trey area to finally come to the Bay Area. But, Jimmy's proven me wrong. And I'm not going to say that after a bad performance this week, man, I think that you have to stick with Jimmy until we're not in the playoffs. Because if Trey's not ready to take us to the playoffs, okay, that's obviously that's not okay, but fine, whatever. We'll deal with those issues later. But I think that we saw that Jimmy is a good quarterback. Jimmy could take this team to the playoffs. Hell, Jimmy can even win a playoff game. He could take us to the Super Bowl. I mean, obviously that was a running game that mostly took us to the Super Bowl, but it's. 6-6 for 72 yards, I think Matt Mayogo said, and the game-winning touchdown. That's Jimmy Garoppolo. I mean, that's all offseason why pretty much Kyle Shanahan said that he would remain the starter. Or that at least, Trey had to make it a competition. And so I think that while a lot of people are going to be pumping up Jimmy this week, I don't think he had a great game, but I'm going to give Jimmy his props and say that he was great when he needed to be, or at least good enough. Now, on to George Kittle. Well, you know what? Let's go ahead and take our Twitch break so I can go ahead and run and do this coupon real quick. And we'll go ahead and we'll get back right after. Hold on. We don't run a 3-minute ad. We want to run 3-minute ad. All right, here we go. All right, for y'all watching on Facebook and YouTube, y'all are still be able to see me. Just unfortunately, those on Twitter won't be able to. So y'all have to excuse me for the next 2 minutes and 43 seconds while I get the promo code going. Let me see. I'll go ahead and I'll allow somebody in the comments to give us our next promo code. How about that? Encourage people to comment. No, not 0, 1. Oh, number lock isn't on. That's why. No, we don't want to exclude free shipping. We want this to expire. What's today's date? 14th. We want it to expire the 20th at midnight. Usage restrictions. Okay, can't be used with coupons. Can't be used on sale items. Product categories for the faithful, by the faithful. And I usually don't do any usage limits. Okay. Have we got no comment for the coupon code? Okay, we'll do. All right. So some of y'all just got the coupon code. I said it out loud. Here we go. How much do we have on the ad break? A minute. All right, we got a minute left. All right, there we go. Oh, my girl is getting a phone call. Okay. I'll tell her about that later. She's mad at me right now. All right. Well, I'm glad that's done. All right. Oh, we got one on Twitch. That might be her. Babe, if you're watching on Twitch, your brother just called you. All right. I think we're 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're back. All right. So glad I did that. But okay, so getting into George Kittle. The man is a beast. We're watching possibly what could turn out to be the greatest tight end in NFL history. What he's doing, I mean, he set another record, first tight end in NFL history with a game of 150 plus receiving yards and 1 touchdown back-to-back weeks. He's starting to do things that no other tight end in NFL history has done. And so my question for the faithful is, we saw his performance in Seattle, and that was clearly wasted because the Niners didn't get the win. Do you fear that he might go the way of Frank Gore and just not get a championship? I mean, that's bad to say, obviously, because, you very well win a championship this year. So that's good. He could win a championship this year. But it just seems like Kittle puts these. I mean, look at his record-breaking season. I was in a 4-12 year. So he literally has one of the best seasons a tight end has had in NFL history. For what? A 4-win football team? For 4 wins? And I felt the same with Frank Gore. And so, and I saw this article. I didn't get a chance to read it, but it said, George Kittle is carrying the 49ers on the back. How long can he do it? And that's really the question. I mean, Kittle is a freak wrecking ball. He's getting beat up every single game. And we love him for it. We love him for his mentality. I made the Kittle shirts. But you can't do that forever. And so I think that now, obviously, Debo's took it a little bit of pressure off of him, and we expect Brandon Ayuk to become more and more a part of the offense. But Kittle can't do it all, every game. I mean, you should see the catch. His knee is in such a bad angle. And it's just like, oh, Lord. And I love George Kittle. I love him. I want to change his game at all. But I mean, how long can he keep this up? I mean, I want to say he's 28. So, exactly like he's a second year player anymore or third year player. He's on his big contract. So, I'm worried about George Kittle. I'm worried about, are we going to use him up, you know, in some meaningless seasons? Now, obviously, this isn't a meaningless season. We're the 6th seed, only one game. Or actually, you know what? Let me go ahead and check that out. NFL playoff picture 2021 playoff standings. Here we go. Let me see this right now. Yeah, we would play the Cardinals right now. Oh yeah, the Yams won yesterday. Okay. Yeah, it looks like the Yams won yesterday. Let me see. I went to NFL.com. Ooh, by 7 points. So that makes Arizona the 3 seed, and they're 10-3 with 4 games left. We could still technically catch Arizona for the division lead, and they're only 1 game behind the Cardinals. So it actually benefits us if the Yams don't win the division because we hold the tiebreaker over them. At least right now, we'll see what happens week 18. But I'm a little bit worried. Now, switching out to the defense. So you know what? Let's go ahead and we'll give the Kittle Corn offensive MVP of the week. I can't use George Kittle because, we made that rule and we made the award. So I got to give it up to Brandon Ayuk. This was the game. This was the game that we've expected for Brandon Ayuk all season. He had 1 rush for 4 yards, no big deal. But he had 6 receptions on 11 targets for 62 yards and the game-winning touchdown. That's the type of game we've been waiting to see. It's not a 100-yard game, but it's the type of game that we've been waiting to see from Brandon Ayuk. Or at least I have, because I knew Brandon Ayuk wasn't going to be a leading receiving yards. I believe. I don't think I picked him. I can't remember. But George Kittle is receiver 1 on this football team. And so I don't expect him to come out and outperform Kittle week after week after week. He shouldn't. Kittle's going to probably outperform any pass catcher on the team most games. Go to my previous points on how wise that is. But it's definitely, let's use one of these tickers. We'll go ahead and give a follow us ticker. And tell you where you can find the show. But big props to Brandon Ayuk. Obviously, game-winning touchdown. We'll go in faithful lore and we'll talk about this. I don't want to say for years to come, but and it's not even his most highlight reel touchdown. The Air Ayuk is his greatest touchdown in his career so far. But definitely an impressive touchdown. We got some real athletes on this team because Debo tight-roping the sideline, Kittle Corn last week tight-roping the sideline, and Brandon Ayuk this time tight-roping the sideline. I did not know. Unfortunately, I listened to the radio over on our alarm clock, and it's always a player or two ahead of the TV. So I heard it, being called and everything like that before I saw it. I obviously didn't know if it was touchdown live. When I saw it on TV, I couldn't really tell. But as soon as I saw the replay the first time, I was like, oh yeah, nothing went out. Thank God for him not wearing white cleats. But please, no Niners wearing white cleats. It's very, 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 very lucky he wasn't wearing white cleats. And great athletic ability that he showed off right there, being able to tightrope the sideline for, one of the best touchdowns of the year. Well, it was walk-off. Walk-off wins are always exciting. But if I'm going to be completely honest, as I like to be on the show, we were lucky to get away with that win. That's fine. In some ways that could be better, but we were lucky. Cincinnati gave us that game with those 2 early turnovers, and they still almost beat us. I didn't feel like the Niners really did anything. I mean, yeah, we recovered the 2 fumbles, and turned them into 10 points, which props to the offense for doing that. But I don't feel like it was us beating them. I felt like it was them beating themselves. Cool, I'm not going to complain. We're 7-6. Awesome. I'll take the dub any way we can get it. But I just don't feel like it didn't look like the previous 4 out of our last 5 wins. It just didn't look. It didn't look like that dominant. It just honestly, it was one great drive. Well, 2, because to line up for the game-winning field goal, bad execution on Robbie Gould's part. Which we'll get into in the offseason on whether, it might be time. I don't think we can. I don't think he has contract. I think he has 1 more year after this year on his contract. So fully guaranteed. So Robbie Gould ain't going anywhere, but I think we're starting to see the beginning of the end of Robbie Gould. Which sucks. But go ask the Bills how not having, your kicker on this game sucks. But big props to the special teams this week. They pretty much, I don't want to say they cost us last week. I felt that there was the offensive turnovers. I believe, I don't want to say cost us more, because that turnover to start the third quarter was a huge momentum swift, and they lapped us when it looked like we were going to be able to lap them. That took the momentum of the game and gave it the shit out on. I don't really honestly think we got it back the rest of the game. So, but they definitely cost us the first one. And after giving that touchdown up in Minnesota, luckily we were able to overcome that. The special teams were under a lot of heat, but they came up with the performance of their life. I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say the performance of their life, because it was 2 muff punts. But recovering those punts are very important. That literally led to this 10 points, and we won by 3 or 4 or 3. Yeah, sorry. We won by 3. So that tells you how important those turnovers were. So I don't want to not say that wasn't the special teams. They played amazing. Big props to the special team. Honestly, I'm going to give the special teams the Kittle Court Offensive Player of the Week. Yeah, they get the Kittle Court Offensive Player of the Week. And Brandon Ayuk. Whatever. Everybody gets the Kittle Court Offensive MVP of the Week. All right, switching over to the defense. Azeez Al-Shire. He is day-to-day with, I believe, what they're calling an elbow strain. He was playing like a maniac. He was all over the field. He missed some tackles. He overrun some plays. But I think that's just coming from his aggressive nature. I mean, 11 tackles, 8 solo, 1 sack, 3 tackles for loss, 1 pass defense. I mean, which really should have been an interception. Azeez Al-Shire, I really do think, is making Dre Greenlaw expendable. 19, 20, 21, 22. 19, 20, 21. Yeah, I'm not giving. I think that if Azeez can play, they're already talking contract extension with him. And if he can play up to this level next year, then yeah, Dre Greenlaw is expendable. Let's be real. There's some games and there's some time points this year that he's even played better than Bam Bam. And I thought I would never say that sentence. But Azeez Al-Shire, I mean, I can't give you the Bam Bam MVP of the award of the Defensive Player of the Week award. But we'll talk about who I'm going to give that to next. But man is playing on fire. The Bam Bam Defensive MVP of the week is one Mr. Nick Bosa. 3 tackles, 2 solo, 2 sacks, 2 tackles for loss, and 2 QB hits. All right, I'm assuming those are the sacks. Man. Hold on, I like that. Oh, man, Nick Bosa needs to win Comeback Player of the Year. If Nick Bosa doesn't win Comeback Player of the Year, I'm done with awards. I just am. No, wait, scratch that. Not NFL comeback. The Alex Smith NFL Comeback Player of the Year award. They really need to name it the Alex Smith Award. Somebody start a petition right now so I can sign it. Because they really need to name that after Alex, after what Alex came back from. But, I mean, I had the shirt on yesterday and the day before on game day. Nick Bosa, man, Bam Bam MVP of the week, award winner. Oh, feels legendary to be number 6. We play the Cardinals. Number 5 is where we want to be. Having to play the Cry Girls. I'd love that. Bring us back to some real Niner football. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and we're going to get up out of here. But before we do, we got to remind everybody to get your officially licensed Niner gear by using our affiliate link. Not only do you help out the show, but you do save 10%. Link will be available in the description of this podcast or video, or you see it scrolling across your screen right now. Go to cgiant.com. Use the promo code NinerFaithfulRadio to save on all your theater, concert, and sporting event tickets, as well as help out the show. Go to NinerFaithfulRadio.com/subscribe to see everywhere you can find the show. Follow us on social media on Facebook, Instagram, and Tumblr at Niner Faithful Radio, and on Twitter at Niner Faithful R. And lastly, thank you for tuning in to the end of the show. As promised, this week's promo code for 10% off of For the Faithful by the Faithful apparel is Falcon Wings. 10% excludes on any on-sale items. Code expires midnight, December 20th, 2021. I shall see y'all later on in the week for Niner Faithful Radio preview. Till then, faith, love, and nappiness. Go Niners.
Montana steps up, throws.